If your seats look like this, then this is what you should do. Now you could try to patch this and whatnot, but it will never look good. And the best thing to do is just replace it. You should replace them with new seat covers. And today I'm going to teach you how to do just that. For some reason, videos that teach you how to do this, they don't teach you how to do the top one. So I'm going to teach you how to do the top one as well. And while we have everything torn apart, later in the video, I'll let you know one thing that you should do while everything's already taken out. If you don't, you'll probably regret it later. Now this might seem intimidating, but step one is removing the seat. To get the job done, these are the tools that we need. The needle nose pliers, flathead, X-Acto knife, a wrench, plastic toolkit remover. You need an E20 with a star pattern, E14, and a 7mm. Now you could just use normal sockets, and I don't know what the sizes are. I think it'd be a 11mm and maybe a 14, but I'd rather use the proper tools. Now to make your job easier, I have a power tool, a twisty bit, and an extension, but you don't need this. You just need this. Step one, let's move back to the seat. Remove this plastic bit. You could use a flathead for removing the plastic bits, but I'd rather not tear up my plastics. Then we have the one back here, which you just gotta lift up because it's locked onto that nut right here and this piece. We also need to remove that cover, and we need to take this off. Let's grab your E20 and put it right on top of that bolt right there. Now, let's break it loose. So we have an E20 here, E20 there. We have the 7mm here. We have the E14 here and on the other side. And we have the E20 here that holds the seatbelt in. Grab your ratchet if you are using one. Now, before we can remove that one, we need to remove this metal piece right here. So you just grab your flathead and just pry that up. Now let's move the seat forward so we can access the bolts in the back. Now we need to move this bolt. Now grab E21, E14 I mean. Now pull up on this. Now we can pull the seatbelt right out of that bolt. Pop this sucker open. There you go. Now we need to remove this and this. This should pull right out with a bit of elbow grease. There you go. And this one, you have a little clip in there. If you see it right here, that you need to pull out with pliers. Just like that, pretty easy. I did it with the one hand. Don't lose it. And this pulls out pretty easily. Let's get this guy back. You gotta get that 7mm right there. Now we need to pop this plastic off, which should be fairly easy. It's just a few clips. Press this in on that side. And we need to unclip this. There's a tab on the inside right here. You just want to pull in and pull it out. Let's tilt the seat backwards. Now we need to unclip this clip here. Just press down. It was that freaking easy. Put that to your side. Now this is the difficult part because the seat is kind of heavy with all its electronics. I'd say it's probably the most difficult part. You just gotta move the seat. Grab the lever, close up the seat. Now I went ahead and put it on a piece of cardboard to prevent anything scraping on the cement because it's pretty aggressive, especially on fabric. So we need to go ahead and lay this back. Probably do it more gentle than that. We're gonna start with removing this nasty seat. You see this? So gross. It just happens over time. Even if you take care of it, it's peeling up here and here. Anyways, to start off, you would want to remove this piece, but on both my chairs, it was already removed. So it basically just bends up like this, and you just want to bend it back down. The next piece we need to get is right inside of there. One thing I want to note is that if you're doing the passenger side seat, you won't have all this electronics in your way. It'd be much easier to access what we're about to do. I just use a flathead for this. This is a hook on the metal that keeps the fabric down. All we need to do is push that out. So just like that. See, it's easy, right? Easy so far. Let's do the other side. Same thing. I forgot we should go ahead and remove this. Have those hooks right inside there that we got to press in, like I showed you earlier. Trusty flatty. Now this piece comes off just by pulling up. And now we have a loose flap. Now peel this up. I'm gonna need 2 hands. Now pull this up. And now we're going to have these tabs holding in this clip or this grill, if you will. All you have to do, press in, and it comes undone. Just like that. It's really hard to do and show. So you want to pull up and bam. Pull up, bam, and one last time. I mean, it's so easy. I'm literally doing it with one hand. I got two in the middle here. So out with the old and in with the much nicer and new. Every kit that I've seen does not have these holes, so we're gonna have to cut them a little bit later, and I'll show you how I do that without making too big of a hole. To do this, we need to line up these roundings with these tabs. So it's gonna be really hard to do this with one hand, so let me just explain it real quick and I'll show you as I go. So I wedge this clip in, and I do this clip, then I do this one, then I do this one, then I finally do this middle piece right down the middle and keep going down just like that. I turn the seat cover inside out so we can have easier access to these right here. Bam. Is that easy? Let's do this side. And it's clipped in. Do the next one and next. Let's do this middle piece. Bam and bam. Now we can fold it back over. Now take this flat and push it down the seam. By the way, keep with me, and I'm still going to get to that one thing that you should do while all this is taken out. Just wedge this underneath, undo that, bam, bam, that right there. You see this? We need to pull it through as much as you can. Okay, now fold this over this ledge here. There you go. Push this left side through. So this driver's seat definitely has a lot more stuff in the way, so it's making this job a little bit harder on this side. So you want to pull this through with your hands, wrap it around that metal ledge. Pull up. So this was behind this right here, so I put it over it so we can get more leverage to pull this through. So it'll look something like that. Let's do this side. As you can see, it's already almost on that ledge, so this side's a lot easier. Now we have this piece. Not very hard. See this clip right here? See how this clips in? It basically bends over itself and then goes over that piece of metal. You just clip it on. You hear all those clicks? That means you're doing a good job. So this will look better as, you know, a few days as you sit in it. As you can tell, I've already had this on for one day and it's looking so much better. It just has to be worn in a little bit. Now, let's just get rid of this nasty back. Let's go ahead. So step one is to remove this backing. The backing is really not that hard. You want to push down. So you push down enough where this can come out. See those clips? They are wedged underneath back here. Now you have clips down here that you need to push in. Put your hand in there and do it yourself. There you go. And the bottom ones clip on downwards into here. Now we got it out. So these you want to push in. I just wedged my hand down in the back of it once I got enough room and did that. For some reason, no videos teach you how to do that, nor they teach you how to remove this headrest. They just say, oh, removing the back was easy. And yeah, it's easy, but you gotta know what to do. Headrest. See this button? Press up, it comes up. Grab this. There you go. This will fly out, so don't lose it. You press this button and one on this side at the same time, and it'll come up. Bam! Removing this. Now you just remove all these clips. It's kind of rinse and repeat. We will need to do some cutting, which I'll teach you how to do once I get the new one in and it all clipped in. I'll show you how to do all the cutting. Be careful you don't come up and accidentally stab yourself, because I've almost done that in the past. So you want to push up away from you or grab these guys and pull up that way. Bam. I was gonna say, don't do this mistake, and I did the mistake again. Nearly pulled that out. I'm glad I didn't pull it all the way out. You wanna unclip it. So unclip all of them all the way up, down the middle, and down here. Now we need to remove it from here. Grab that X-Acto knife. There you go. There you go. I do quickly want to explain how I'm doing the top half because it's different from the bottom. I didn't turn it inside out. Instead, I'm putting 2 hands underneath here and installing it, you know, tab by tab. Here we have it. All the clips are in. I did them all by hand except for that one. Use the pliers. Now let's install this. Line up the bottom ones down there. There we go. Now we need to install the headrest. It's a hole here and here. Make sure everything's all snug and tight, all the up and down. And you just fill the hole, punch it through, do an X. So this is one of the holes. I'd rather make the holes too smaller first and cut a little bit bigger if you need it. Just like that. There's one down. See this one. There you go. Grab your headrest. Ugh. We need those. We need those on. So I'm gonna basically slide it on. There's a special way to connect this piece, so I need to make sure I teach you that. Go ahead and smush that on. Bam. Thank you, ma'am. Super easy. Now this one, before you smush it on, you need to put this clip on. Those metal teeth here will line up and these grooves on the bottom right here. And there you go. Now we have to install this. However, these holes need to be cut. X-Acto. Filled it out right there and right there. So I just put this plastic bit back on and I cleaned it. Looks all good. Well, I didn't do a good job there. Oh my goodness. That's good enough. Now I need to put the seat back in the hoe. Now before you bolt it all the way in, make sure you plug it in. This is the easiest access you'll have. Hand tighten all these bolts first. Make sure all the bolts go in, and now we can tighten it to spec. You can torque it to spec. It'll be right here. What I'm gonna do, which I don't advise you to do, is just tighten it to the appropriate ooga doogas. Now we got this all plugged in, and snap it in. You have to pull out the leather right there. Push it in up here as well. Let's put this back on. Now I need to put this back on, but remember, I told you about this clip. So this will attach like this, all right? So you wanna put the clip on top so when we push it in, it'll just clip in place. It has grooves right inside of there that it'll sit into. This is how you want it to look, something like that. If it's pushed in on one side more than the other, it's not gonna work, so you need to be patient. I use pliers to get it in. You lift out this plastic as you push it in. Before we do seatbelt, let's go and tighten up all these bolts. And that's a few ooga doogas. Just kidding. Have you ever had the issue where your seatbelt is just pathetically slow? Well, yeah, mine is. Okay, so what we need to do is this. All you gotta do is fill out this bucket with some degreaser, some water in there, put down a piece of cardboard, place that bucket right here, pull this all the way out, grab some vice grips if you have them, or some sort of clamp. This is clean, and just take a look at that. That is just so filthy and gross. The passenger seatbelt was just as dirty, but I've already cleaned it and it looks like new, and it works like new, as it should. Get it wet, scrub it. I'm using a sponge, scrub all the up and down it, let it soak a little bit longer, and scrub again, then let it dry overnight. Then you can attach this bolt to spec, and of course, while it seats out, you want to vacuum underneath the seat, and then you're done. That is literally it. I'll link these seat covers down below for your convenience. They seem to be pretty high quality. If you want to see how I repaired this cracked dash, check out this video. No more noises. It's Chris. Always appreciate and expect another. See you next time.